What's happening, Mad Squad? It's Joe, aka Mad UFC. So, I finished watching the first 4 episodes of The Defenders. I'm actually doing this video on Saturday, but you'll probably see it Monday. Monday's videos will be just my reviews for episodes 1 through 4 and 5 through 8 of The Defenders. So, the reason I didn't wait till I watched all 8 is because I need to do this fresh, okay? I've literally just finished watching the first 4 episodes as I'm recording this. I need to do this fresh while I have everything from the first 4 episodes clear on my mind and I know everything I want to talk about. So, this is what I've been hearing. People saying the first 3 episodes were slow. I didn't have a problem with the first 3 episodes, okay? And I'm not saying that because, well, some people would think of it as the same thing. Oh, you're just saying that because you love superheroes. You know just how you like Inhumans even though everybody else hates it. Just because everybody else thinks one thing doesn't mean I'm going to think the other, and doesn't mean that I'm biased about anything just because I think something and everybody else thinks something else. Okay? That's what they think. So I liked the first 3 episodes, especially the first one. The first one, and it was needed, okay? It wasn't something that was filler. It wasn't anything that wasn't necessary, okay? When each season of each show ended, we need to be caught up on what they've been doing before. I mean, how would you like if it just skipped to the 4th or the 3rd episode, right at the part when, in this isn't going to be non-spoilers, it's just going to be me saying anything. So if you haven't watched it, you've been warned now. But the part right where, what if the first episode started right when Danny walked in to the building, I forgot what it was called, but the building where the fight broke out and they all met each other, okay? What if it just started out there? How would you have liked that? I wouldn't have liked that, because we don't know what they've been up to, okay? Just, Jessica Jones ended, with her killing Kilgrave and all of that. Iron Fist ended with him going back to Kunlun to discover it wasn't there. Came back to New York. Luke Cage ended with him going to prison. And Daredevil Season 2 ended with Karen knowing his secret. Okay? So we needed to know where they were at currently, and that's all episode 1 was. That's all it was. It was letting us know where they were at currently. Karen and Matt were talking about how, she knows now, and Matt's kind of doing his own thing without Foggy. He's just doing his own thing. And, Karen's like, this secret, do you miss this life? And he lies to her. He really misses it. He likes being Daredevil. He misses it. But he didn't tell her that. And Luke, I loved Luke's part. Luke's part when he was just walking, and everybody was clapping and cheering for him, and he put that grin on his face. I just had the biggest grin on that part. I absolutely loved the part when he was just walking, everybody was clapping, and he broke the handcuffs. Like, oops, I think these belong to you. And then he got himself some coffee right after. That's all I'm saying. I mean, this isn't a non-spoiler. This isn't a non-spoiler review, but that's all I'm saying about that. Got himself a lot of coffee. Yeah, I even broke a table or 2. But I loved Luke's part. And one of my favorite parts of all 4 episodes so far is when Luke and Danny first met. Okay? that was absolutely amazing. Um, and the trailers really did a good job of not showing everything, because when Danny punched Luke's face, when he punched his face, I thought Luke was just gonna stand there. When he punched Luke, he punched Luke, and Luke flew into a wall. Okay? He flew into a wall. I did not know that was gonna happen because the trailers didn't show that, and I'm glad they didn't, because that caught me off guard. By the trailers, I thought when he did that, Danny was just gonna be like, the heck? And Luke was just gonna be standing there, and nothing would have happened. But he got flown into a wall. He didn't get hurt or anything, because, he's bulletproof. But, that's how hard the punch was, that it actually moved him. And then they were trying to talk and stuff. He punched me. He punched me first. I absolutely loved all of the things that were thrown back and forth. I like how Luke and Danny have been playing off of each other. They are playing off of each other how I hoped they would, like how their relationship is in the comics, when they were at the dojo talking about each of them were talking about their powers and stuff. And then when they were at the Royal Dragon restaurant, Danny was like, Luke was like, how are you still eating? Danny was like, I need to eat a lot to summon my chi. And how they just played off of each other and stuff. How Danny offered Luke the last piece of food. I just like how Luke and Danny play off of each other. And I like how it took 3 episodes to get them together, which makes sense to me. They're not just going to get together on the first episode. We need to see exactly what leads each of them to just randomly come together, okay? And so it made sense. Each of them had a reason to go to that building. And so then Luke showed up as Danny was taking off. Speaking of that, you're not going to tell me that was not some good fighting choreography. That fight scene when Danny was fighting all those people before Luke Cage showed up. It was before any of the other defenders showed up. It was when Danny was fighting alone. I thought that scene alone was better than most of the fight scenes in the first season of Iron Fist. Okay? Again, this is not me saying this because I'm biased about anything, because I love superhero fans, so I would say anything's good. That's not what I'm saying, because all things have their flaws. Okay? But I thought that was good. I thought the fighting choreography there was good. And I like how they just all met up with each other, and only Luke and Jessica really know each other because Luke was in the first season of Jessica Jones. So they're the only two who really knew each other. So, they were kind of talking, and Matt and Danny were kind of like, you guys know each other? Stuff like that. And in the restaurant, I liked how Matt revealed to them that he was Daredevil. I knew it would probably eventually have to happen, because there were some stills and images before the show even dropped. There were some images of Matt with the costume on, but without his mask on. So I like how he, told them that I'm Matthew Murdock. I'm also Daredevil. Because at first he didn't want to tell them. He didn't want any part of this after he realized how big this was getting. How a lot of people's lives are at risk. Like a lot of their personal ones. A lot of the ones they care about and love. A lot of their lives were at risk. And I like how, I'm not saying I didn't understand the hand before, but that one scene when Stick was explaining the hand to them in the restaurant, that really, brought everything that's been said about the hand in all the Netflix shows. It brought everything that's been said together into one scene to where it all makes complete sense. There are 5 different members of the hand. That's why it's called 5 Fingers of the Hand. And one is dead, and the other 4 are still alive. And so Stick is part of a team group called the Chase, and is he a member? No, I don't think he was a member of the Hand. He's a member of the Chase, and I can't remember the villain's name. Weaver? See, because I can't remember if that's her name in the show or her actual name in real life. I think it's her actual name in real life, maybe. But I know it, so I'm just going to use that name when I'm talking about her. I didn't know she was going to be the way she was to Madame Gao, so I think Weaver is actually the main person. Like how it seemed like it was Madame Gao, I think it's Weaver, because when she said the things she said to Madame Gao and the way Madame Gao was acting around her, because before, Madame Gao was the one, like the top one. You know, everything she did, she always had people doing stuff for her. Everything was done her way. So to see Madame Gao, because, you know, she even because remember her and Kingpin, you know, the way he was around her, kind of, it's like she was that way around Weaver. So I was like, wow. Like, I didn't know it was going to be like that, you know? So I really like this villain. Again, I can't remember his name. I'm just going to call her Weaver, but I like Weaver, okay? She can fight. She can fight because she fought Elektra right after she got out of that capsule thing. So she can fight, but, you know, she pretty much just has people do stuff for her. But she can fight. Stick, I was not expecting him to cut his hand off. You know, I thought as sharp as the blade was, he maybe would have just cut the cuffs. I don't know why he cut his hand off. Maybe he couldn't cut through the cuffs, but I'm sure it could even cut through walls. So I don't know. I don't know exactly why he had to cut his hand off, but that I wasn't expecting him to do that, and that was intense. That was intense. Speaking about him and Claire, I know some people say Claire is like the Nick Fury of the Netflix world and like the Defenders. I think of Claire more as the Phil Coulson, you know? I think of Stick as the Fury. Yes, he's only been in Daredevil, but still, Stick is like, he's above Claire in my opinion. I think of Stick as the Nick Fury of the Defenders, and he's the one who told them in the restaurant that New York only stands a chance if it has you four, you know? He's the one who told them they have to do this together, you know? And Claire's like, she's like Coulson, like the supporting person. She's helped each Defender out in their own shows in some way. So I just think of her as like the Phil Coulson, and Stick is like the Nick Fury, right? So, what else? I still have yet to see the fight scene between, at least as I'm recording this, I still have yet to see the fight between Daredevil and Iron Fist. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a fight between them. I'm pretty sure there might be another fight between Luke and Danny. I don't think Jessica will be fighting any of the Defenders. But, yeah, so far, I'm really liking it. I'm liking all the acting, all the dialogue, all the action. In that scene with Danny in the building when he was fighting all of them before Luke Cage came in, that was one of my most favorite fight scenes of the first 4 episodes so far, if not my favorite. It might be my favorite. I really liked it. I really liked how much cleaner Danny's fight scenes were. And there weren't as many cuts and different types of edits than in the first season of Iron Fist. You saw a lot of course, he has a stunt double and stuff, but he actually trains too and stuff and does some of his own stunts and stuff. So there were way less cuts. You got to see like a good 5 to 7 seconds sometimes of him going around fighting. So I liked how much cleaner it was and way less edits than in Iron Fist. And I like the effects on Danny's Iron Fist. I liked it ever since the first season of Iron Fist, but I like how on a Netflix budget they have the effects of the chi and stuff going through his hand and stuff, So I think that's everything. But for those of you who did not like the first 3 episodes or who thought they were slow, I didn't think they were slow, and I'm not just saying that. I think it was needed to just randomly bring them together all in one place, just these 4 random people at coincidental timing at this one place, okay? The first episode was catching us up on their lives, and the first episode ended with that earthquake. And then by the end of the 3rd episode, they were all in the elevator and they all met with each other. I think it was necessary and I enjoyed it. I wasn't bored at all. I wasn't just sitting here like this. Because that's another thing is probably why people thought it was boring, is because wasn't as much action and it was more storytelling. See, I'm the type of guy, I love that stuff, okay? I'll sit here and I could watch a movie that's barely any action. It's just story, okay? I'm not there just for the action. I want to know what's been happening in their lives since their shows. I want to know how they meet. I want to see the story of how they meet that makes sense, That's just my thoughts on it. I know a lot of you will probably still be like, oh, it was slow. Well, I think it was needed. I do think it was needed. So let me know what you think of. By the time I'm posting this, I will have watched all the episodes. And I'm sure most of you who actually care about this will have watched all the episodes as well. So let me know what you have thought of Defenders so far. This is our review for the first 4 episodes. So let me know what you thought of the first 4 episodes so far. Let me know what was your favorite. Let me know your favorite fight scene between the 4. Let me know who you've liked the best in this ensemble show with all of them meeting up. And let me know just anything you liked in general about it. I love everything, okay? There's not one thing I hated. I loved everything about I like that it, different people had to meet from the different shows before the main Defenders actually met. I like Foggy met with Luke Cage, and how Jessica met with Misty, stuff like that. How different people, supporting characters from the different shows, had to meet up with the main Defenders before all the main Defenders actually met up themselves, if that made any sense. I like how that had to happen first as well before the main ones actually met. And how it was Foggy's job to kind of watch Jessica, and so he gave Matt her case, and that's how they ended up meeting. And how Luke was going after that kid, and Danny and Colleen, they were looking for the sword, I believe. I think they were looking for a sword, and so they ended up at the same place, and Danny was interrogating that kid. That's how him and Luke met. So I like how it happened. They didn't just meet. It took supporting characters to meet the main characters. Then the main Daredevil and Jessica met because Luke took Jessica's case, met her through that. And then Luke and Danny met. They ended up at the same place. And then they all met at the building. They all had a reason to be at that building where they all met. You know, it made sense. They didn't just meet. So that's why I love story. I don't just go to something. I don't just go to an action movie. I don't just watch an action show for the action. There's a story behind it, and I like the story. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I covered most of the main things I wanted to cover. And yeah, like I said, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed, and I'm no professional reviewer, by the way, so don't criticize me in any way. Well, you can, but if you do, just know I'm not a professional reviewer or anything. I'm just a huge fan of these shows, and I watch them, and I know some of you care about my opinion of it, so why not share it to the internet, the world, any of you who will be watching this, okay? I'm just a huge fan of these shows, and I like to give my thoughts and opinions on it. So, if you enjoyed my Netflix Defenders episodes 1 through 4 review, let me know what you thought, and let me know all of your thoughts on the show. Links to my social media will be down below in the description box. If you enjoyed this video, there are 2 like buttons. Be sure to fingerprint the button with the thumb pointing up. Share this video to anyone you feel enjoy, and tap the subscribe button, ding the notification bell to join the Mad Squad on our journey to 10,000 subscribers. My name's Joe, aka Mad UFC. I hope you all have a marvelous day. Mad out. Mad. Strong. Together.